All right, this is Joe Bishop with Bishop Backwoods Survival, and this is story time.
Hey, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a big bow for killing big game. You know, you've probably seen bows kill white-tailed deer and little hogs around here. But I got a bow that's used for killing big game in Africa. Okay? This is what the Bushmen in Africa use, and it's on the close to the Sahara Desert. And this is what they use. I want you to see the arrow that they use. This, the end came off that one. I'll get another one out here. This is the arrow that they use. Now, the shaft part is made out of grass. This is made out of a piece of wire. See that?
Don't poke yourself.
Now,
Yeah. Let me know.
what they used to make the metal part of before the white man came in with the wire, they used giraffe, and would cut it down and use it for giraffe. This is what they used to kill big game with. Now they kill any of the antelopes and take buffalo, but they're not allowed to kill elephants anymore. Not allowed to kill elephants or giraffe, but they take everything else. And they shoot these. When they shoot them, they're 75 to 100 yards away. And they shoot up in the air, and the arrows come down on them. Now, if that arrow hits the animal any place, in a horn or a hoof, it'll die. Because they have poison on it, and the poison is made from a
Charlie gets in you.
poison is made
Neil,
from
right?
the
How you doing?
sap of a tree, and they boil it down. And on a tree, there's a
David.
A beetle.
I remember your face. From
and the
Barfield.
beetle
Terrible at
falls
names.
down on the ground, digs a hole, and lays the young. And they dig up the young and crush it and mix it with that sap. Now the sap is what really kills the animal. The reason they have to have the grub in there is a grub keeps the animal from pissing out the poison. And these bushmen are trackers. It's almost supernatural how they can track. Now just imagine you're 7,500 yards away, you shoot, then you have to go up and see what happens, and they look for their arrow. Because when that hits, this comes out, okay? And so they walk around, they're able to find, I can't even find an arrow with
White collar
fluorescent
and
orange. And they go out and they can find that arrow, and they'll know, okay, it's been hit. Well, there's a group of animals there, could be 15, 20. They're able to track. And they watch the tracks and they can tell which one's been hit. And sometimes they have to track it for a couple days. And then when they get it, and they cut it up and bring it back, they eat everything. And they share it with the whole village because they don't have any refrigeration. So it has to be eaten pretty quick. My buddy who is Rob Haas, he was a missionary over there, and he says, boy, they just eat everything. There's just nothing left except the hooves and the hide that they don't use. And he says, when it comes to tracking, it's amazing. It's almost supernatural how they can track that animal, all those different animals, and they can stick on that one animal and know which one was hit and take it down. And that is what their livelihood depends on.
What's a quiver made out of?
The quiver is made out of a root, and they heat it up and they beat it, and the center comes out of it. Okay, and they keep their arrows in there. Now this doesn't have any poison on it. When they put the poison on, it's dry. Once they put it on, it dries. It cakes on, and then when it mixes with the blood, it dissolves into the animal's bloodstream, and then they eat it. It doesn't bother the animal to be eaten. They don't even worry about it. Maybe cut a little bit out right there where it hit. You see how small the arrow is, and it doesn't make much difference. So
Before they had that little tiny metal broadhead, what did they?
giraffe. They made it out of giraffe bone. They splintered a giraffe leg and worked it down and got it sharp. And that's what they used. The giraffe foreleg is very, very dense. You ever hold on the giraffe leg? I got one. You can't believe how heavy. One of the heaviest, strongest bones in the animal kingdom. It's heavier and bigger than an elephant bone, really.
Yeah, it would have to be.
because you know a giraffe is 18 foot up there. So imagine how that front leg has to be so strong. And then they do it, yeah.
That looks
What
like
kind of weight?
a Hadza or Hazda, the folks that wear. They're like one of the last hunter gatherers still living.
Well, they're still there. They've lost a lot of their land, and they're still hunting and gathering. They're allowed to hunt like this.
That arrow looks like they're the ones I've seen from the videos I've watched.
Well,
of
they
them.
are bushmen.
Mhm.
What we call bushmen. I forget what the
Yeah.
tribe.
Rob said they talk with like clicks and
Clicks.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They talk with clicks.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they do. You know, I'm wearing this black hat, and I have a black leather little coat that goes with it. And I was going to church one day, and my wife says, "Hey, you look just like a TV personality." I said, "Oh, Adam Cartwright." My wife says, "No, Fester Hagen." Woman always has a way of putting you down, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Could I see that bow?
Yeah, tell
Sure.
us more about the bow. What's it made of?
You know, the string is made out of tendon from an antelope of some type.
About,
He didn't say what the wood was made out of.
about 22 inches long, maybe.
So where'd you come up with this?
He was in Africa. I had Rob in the class, and I supported him when he was in Africa.
And could I see one of the arrows that go with it?
Oh shoot! I'm gonna go through there.
Yeah, if you poison yourself, we ain't eating you, Mr. Jim.
Well, I'm sure glad to hear that. Huh?
I know, but all right, there it is.
They wouldn't allow him to touch the poison.
Yeah.
He was able to watch him make it, but he said they wouldn't even give me a sample of it or anything.
Pretty cool.
I tell you what, how would you like to
First started
have a
thinking
requirement for your protein for your family to depend on something like that?
Yeah.
he made up.
And he said those the Bushmen wear no clothes,
Can I see your quiver?
don't wear any clothes. And he said they're out there walking and there's thorns and poison and snakes, and they never carry any water.
Kill himself by nicking himself.
He said if a white man was to follow them, he'd die. He said they just go out through there. They don't carry water with them. They track. He said it's absolutely almost supernatural. They can kind of track and move through there.
And that's the story of the African big bow by.
Jim Kempsey
Thank you.
and Rob Haas.
Thank you. Like I say, if you ain't practicing skills when it comes time using them, you won't have them, so get out and practice.